obviously a tight game all the way, but what did you think the key was in the fourth quarter when you guys pumped up the lead there?
Well, I thought it was our best defensive game, which isn't saying much given the other four, but it just felt like a more typical Warriors performance where we're getting stops consistently and then getting out and running. And the game connected. We always talk about connecting the game at both ends. Get good shots. That leads to good transition defense, and get stops and rebounds, and the flow comes easier offensively. So I thought it was other than a few careless turnovers, I thought it was the best we've played at both ends. And of course, Steph was just sublime. I mean, what he's doing is incredible. He just gets by anybody. Doesn't matter who's on him. He gets right into the teeth of the defense, finishes, finds guys. He's been spectacular here to start the year.
Was any part of you wondering like how fresh he would be last year's, long title run, his age, obviously, and just, that kind of condensed summer? I mean, were you wondering how fresh he would be entering camp?
A little bit. I mean, I didn't love playing him 37 minutes, but this game required it. It felt like a game we needed, heading out on the road. And so we ran him a little bit longer tonight than we would have liked. But he keeps himself in such great shape all summer. He works so hard that he never really falls out of shape. So from the first day of camp, he's looked incredibly well conditioned and ready to go. Now the challenge comes for him, just like everybody. The whole 82, the accumulation of games takes its toll eventually. But he's just in amazing shape.
Steve, did you get a sense that Steph was out there trying to get Klay going intentionally early in the game, and especially in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I thought there was a key transition play. Klay had just made a three. I think it was third quarter. And then Steph came down in transition. He could have taken the shot on his own. He found Klay for another one. And that was a really important play in the game because, I thought in the first half Klay was kind of pressing, hanging his head a little bit. And his energy in the second half picked up. And, Steph helped get him going, but Klay got himself going with his defense and his energy. So great performance by him in the second half. And, a lot of guys really played well. I think Draymond has had a really great start to the year. He's playing with so much intensity, pushing the ball. Wiggs has been fantastic, 10 rebounds tonight. I thought the glass was key for us tonight, 50 to I think 31. That's a big edge possession-wise. So that was a big part of the game.
Steve, Jordan said the other night just how much pride he's taking in his passing and being an all-around player. That drive early in the fourth when he goes in and then flips it around to Ty out on the perimeter. I mean, does he continue to show you some of the strides he's making, in different phases? I mean, he's really been passing beautifully.
Yeah, Jordan's been good. He's what we like about him is that he's a shot creator. Whether it's for himself or for others, and it's so valuable to have a guy who can break the defense down and create a shot. And I thought that play that you're talking about, where he had Ty for the three, was a really big bucket for us. I thought JaMychal Green played some huge minutes for us. His offensive rebounds, his toughness, his grit. He's really added a lot to our team. So that second half felt a lot more like us. And so hopefully this is a sign we're coming around.
Steve, kind of following up on CJ's question about Steph looking for Klay. How have you seen him sort of evolve as a leader and sort of knowing when to get his own and knowing when his teammates are getting hot or when his teammates need to be propped up?
Well, he's been doing this for a long time, so I'd be lying if I said, this is something new. Steph's always been a guy who, is very conscientious and wants his teammates to do well. He's always thinking about his teammates, and he and Clay know each other so well. They've been together for a decade, more than a decade. So, Steph knew he had to help Clay get going a little bit, and so that didn't surprise me at all.
You get 14 minutes out of Wiseman. He's +2. I've mentioned the big minus that he'd go into this game. How important is just to get some, I mean, he got buckets, but just to make sure he's not going underwater a little bit when he's out there, just to get those minutes.
Well, I think, what's interesting with James is, the first 5 games of the year, even on the nights where, maybe he's been, in the negative, in the plus minus, he's still productive. He's scoring. He's got such good touch around the basket. He's such a lob threat. You saw Steph get him for the one, late third, I think it was, maybe it was early fourth, but, I think James is showing his potential, but he needs reps. And the reason right now for some of the plus minus stuff is just that he's got to go through those reps again and again and again. And we have to allow him to make some mistakes and allow him to play through those things. I couldn't be happier with his development, with his attitude, his approach every day. Just what he's done to overcome the injury. This guy is he's just a wonderful young guy who wants to be great, and we're trying to help him get there as quickly as possible. But it can only come with a lot of experience.
You haven't really been going to Jonathan Kuminga a lot in the rotation. I know you're still figuring out combinations and stuff, but he was also a DNP tonight. Why didn't you play him?
Well, it's hard to play more than 10 guys. It just is. I think we've done it a couple of times. We played 11 maybe in 2 of the 5 games. But Jonathan's time will come. He's a very, very young player. He's very talented. He's just got to keep working, and things will go well for him as long as he just stays on the path. This is how it goes for young guys on championship teams. It's there's just no free minutes, and but the development comes every day. That's the thing. It's it's not like development only comes with minutes played. It comes with coming to practice and getting the work in every single day. So he's working hard. He's staying ready, and his time will come.
You kind of alluded to it right there, but how's he kind of handling?
What's that?
I said, how is he kind of handling the fact that right now he's...
Well, JK is a very quiet guy, and we've spent a lot of time together here in the early part of the season and in camp, and he's not happy, and I don't want him to be happy. I want all of my guys to want to be out there, but it's a necessary part of the growth to learn how to win, learn how to be part of a combination. We have to put the best combinations on the floor right now that are going to help us win games. So, Moses, his spacing makes a little bit more sense. Ty's playmaking makes a little more sense. So it's all part of being in the NBA. And as long as he fights through it like he's been doing, he's going to be fine.
Hey, Steve, kind of a 2-part question. Before going on a 5-game road trip, how big is getting a win out of the way like this at home? And then also for the new guys, the young guys, the rookies, how important can a 5-game road trip altogether be as well?
Yeah, my first coach in the league, Cotton Fitzsimmons, used to call it the getaway game, before the road trip. The getaway game is a big one because you just want to carry some momentum onto the road because it's going to be tougher. And so this was a big game. We needed it. And I look forward to these 5 games and the bonding that will happen, and the young guys getting some opportunities. All good stuff.
Up on that, because in this series, it's like 5 games in 7 days or something, 2 back-to-backs. Do you plan on any kind of load management? You mentioned younger guys getting opportunities. There's some chances on those back-to-backs that some of
there's an excellent chance given the age of some of our guys and the wear and tear of playing hundreds of playoff games over the last decade. yeah, we're going to be looking at that for sure. And, we're just going to, we always have to have the big picture in mind and pace our guys through the regular season, make sure they're healthy and in good shape going into the playoffs. So it's all part of it.
Another Wiseman question. When you juggle the rotation with Looney starting as the second floor, that means Wiseman's playing almost all his minutes with Steph. Was that part of the thinking? Do you want to see him out there with Steph a lot?
Yeah. I think, everybody plays better with Steph. The defense just has to pay so much attention to him. And I think we wanted to give that second unit a little more stability with Loon and his experience and his defense. So kind of putting Wise in mid-quarter, first and third, accomplishes that, and bringing Loon back at the top of the second and the fourth. So we've done that the last 2 games now. Breaks up our combinations a little bit. We get a little better mix of youth and veterans, and we'll probably keep doing that for the time being and see how it goes. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.